In this episode of Kids Podcast, I am honored to share wisdom with you about leading kids in your church and in your home. Dealing with kids is hard work, and I'm praying that we add some tools to your tool belt today. So let's dive into today's topic. On this episode of Kids Podcast, we're answering the time machine question. That's right, time machine. This question comes to me every year. It just came to me again, and it was this. It says, hey, if you could go back in time to your early self, your first year of ministry, which was about 20-something years ago, what would you tell your old self? What would you do differently? And I love this question because it helps me remember and reflect and re-engage where I want to go and what I want to do. And then I also just love investing in young leaders. So today I'm going to give you 3 things I wish I could tell the old Pastor Ron. That's right, the old Pastor Ron. When I was straight out of college, a rookie, a noob, what would I tell myself? So let's dive in. Let's do this. I have 3. Number 1 is, bro, you do not know it all. You are young, you are pompous, and you have a lot to learn. Keep your mouth shut, digest, and lock in. Yeah, that's about what I would say to myself. Here's why I would say it to myself. I know my personality now. I am a cocky, pompous jerk. If you knew me and when I was young, I was cocky, pompous, and a jerk. And I didn't know any better. And my ideas of going into ministry was, yeah, the Lord has called me. I am the man for the job. I am the right man for the job. He is given me this opportunity. I am God's gift to this situation. I am the man. And I'd have these ideas. I thought they were awesome ideas. I present these ideas. I go to these meetings with other pastors and be like, what are you guys doing? The idea is very simple and clear. Do this idea. It's going to work. And I'd kind of get the cold shoulder. I'd be blown off. I was cut short. You name it. Now you're talking 20 years later, after doing ministry full time, working with kids full time, working with teenagers full time, being surrounded by minors all the time. I have learned, man, I did not know it all. I was a cocky, pompous little jerk, and I wish I was not. I wish I'd listened to the experienced leaders around me. I wish I had digested the time that I had with the seasoned leaders around me. I wish I just zipped my lip and acted like a sponge. I mean, who am I to walk up to Michael Jordan and be like, I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man? No. If you get the opportunity to sit with Michael Jordan or anyone who is better than me in general, or has been doing it longer than me, or has any amount of seasoning more than me, man, be a sponge and learn as much as you can. Even learn that that's not the way you want to do it. Even learn that that's the wrong way to do it. Even learn that there is the right and the wrong and the good and the bad. Learn. I wish I had that mentality, that I would just keep my mouth shut and just learn, grow, that I don't know it all, that I was not good enough, that I was not the best, that I was not ready. Does that mean that you as a young pastor should lack confidence? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, if I went back in time, I would tell the old self that, hey, you don't know it all. Be teachable. Be teachable. Be teachable. Number 2 is this. There are at least 6 other people in the entire planet that can do your job equally, if not better, than you. Let me repeat that. There are at least 6 other people on the entire planet that can do your job equally, if not better. Now, there could be 15, 20, 100 other people that can do this job better than you. But let's say you're on the top of your game. Let's say you're one of the best of the best of the best kids pastors, the best of the best of the best youth pastors, best of the best of the best parents. Bro, if you get hit by a bus, you can be replaced by someone, at least 6 other someones that can do what you do as good as you. And there is a good chance that one of the 6 can probably do it better than you. Yeah. And so once I kind of learned this, I don't even remember where I learned it. Some book somewhere, maybe. I don't know. Once I began to come to understand that, hey, I'm replaceable, it forced me to respect my position, my place in this organization, rather than being someone who thought that I was God's gift to this position. And yes, God calls us. Yes, God has a plan for us. Yes, God, spiritual, all kinds of very positive biblical things we could say here. But no matter how much you are called into something, the calling is also to be diligent in the preparation and excellence of that role. Great, you're called to be a kids pastor. Great, you have a calling to be a parent. Great, you have a calling to lead teenagers. Great, you have a calling with minors. Great. You're not done, bro. You're not done. Now it's on you to be diligent, to be excellent with your preparation, to not be the best, but be the best version of yourself that you can possibly be, so that you can stand before the God of the universe and say, I did my best, and then he can say, well done, good and faithful servant. Number 2. But let's go on to number 3. And this is a huge one. This is one that I learned more in the last 6 or 7 years, is that being awesome on the stage does not make you awesome in the office. I want to repeat that. Being awesome on the stage does not make you awesome in the office. Being awesome on the stage does not make you awesome in the office. And I can't tell you time after time after time, after being in the same district for years, being in the same field for years, working with the same people for years, how many young pastors come in, do an awesome job, just killing it for the kingdom on the stage. Man, getting those kids to the altar call from the stage, preaching a powerful message from the stage, but then they get fired because they don't know how to operate their office. Fired because their calendar is messed up. Fired because they're not organized. Fired because they don't know how to do diplomacy with parents. Fired because of their weak office skills. It is sad. We look at this turnover rate of pastors. Was it 18 months is the average? I wonder how much of that is not because they chose to leave, but because they were terminated because of their office skills. Yes, do good on the stage. Yes, keep that up. But a large part of this diligence that we've been talking about earlier is that, hey, your job is not to stand on the stage for 40 hours a week. Your job is to be a pastor, and that means there's some office time, there's some organizational time. And this applies to many fields. Do you know how many therapists I know that are really good at therapy, but horrible at being an office leader or manager? How about doctors who know a lot about doctoring, but horrible bedside manner? Horrible just at talking to people that are not injured or sick. And I've always said that, hey, being a pastor does not make you a leader. You might have a position of leadership, because we learned it in many books that there are different levels of leadership. One of those levels is you have the title of a leader. That doesn't make you a leader. I always make the funny joke with my boss that, hey, at church, I follow my boss. In this outreach, I follow my boss. But if we were to get on a plane and he and I were to crash on an island and we're having to survive in the wilderness and everyone is relying on his leadership, I'm said, nope, I am not following him. Because now we're in a different culture, a different world. And when it comes to surviving in the wilderness, I know that my boss cannot do that. So he is probably going to end up following me in that scenario. Does it make him a bad leader? No, it's just understanding the levels of leadership. And my younger self, up your game now. Don't wait those 10 years you waited to get that master's degree in organizational leadership. Don't wait those few years to get those leadership books. Now. Learn how to manage your calendar now. Learn how to communicate with people now. Learn how to do better emailing now. Learn how to use your words properly now. Learn that stuff in the office now. Learn to be the best employee in the office now. Ron, these are the 3 things I want to tell you. Number 1, you don't know it all. Chill out, bro. Number 2, Ron, there's at least 6 other people that could do this job. Don't think you're the best. And number 3, up your office game if you want to go the long haul. So there you have it. There's the 3 things I would tell my old self if I had a time machine. If you have additional questions, awesome. I would love to help. I would love to point you in the right direction. Until next time, everybody say, bye, Pastor Juan. Thank you for listening. Smash those like buttons, turn the bells blue, or whatever the kids are doing these days. At the end of the day, our goal is to raise little people to one day become big people. You can find older archived podcasts on our YouTube channel and support what we do at rongaleministries.com. Enjoy!